for is that we are not VSO and accredited claim agents or VA lawyers. We are not veteran.
Disclaimer.
We are veteran sharing exactly what we worked, how we worked that specific situation, and every claim is unique. And this is not legal or medical advice. So I want to make sure we put that disclaimer on there.
Please make sure that stands out.
In my AI research, they said make sure that I put that disclaimer that we are not VSO and we're not accredited. Anything that we say, you can't just. Every situation is different.
What's up? Welcome back to Unscripted Podcast with Clyde and
with Tanya.
Yeah, whichever way they go.
Yeah.
But listen, welcome back. We first of all, thank everybody for rocking out. Thank you for the new followers. We're gonna forever say that. We appreciate you so much for just wanting to be a part of this podcast and listen to these old country folks from Cold Spring, Texas. We thank you so much for being a part of this podcast and pray that you share, like all of that great stuff. This is where we talk about business and marriage in business and how we do this together. Yeah. I know a lot of people probably think that, how do we do this together? We've been together 26 this year?
Yeah, I think we almost have a healthy relationship. It's crazy, man, because, literally, we do everything together. We if you leave the house.
Is that unhealthy?
I don't know.
Somebody tell me. That's unhealthy. We do everything together.
Somebody tell us in the comments, is it healthy that we do everything together? Like, she has no secrets.
No.
I have no secrets. And if I do think I got a secret, help and tell her, and kind of find out something I already told her.
Yeah.
And it's not, some people think people do it because they're trying to overly protect the next person. I think we do because we all we got.
Yeah, at the end of the day.
Yeah, we all we got.
And I think, too, it's because we gel well together.
Yeah.
You have your thing you do. I got my thing that I do.
And I think it's crazy, though, because, even though we've been married for 26 years,
December would be
26 years. Even though we've been married for 26 years, every year we're learning how to evolve in our identity. And one thing I'm noticing now, that we have been doing so many things together, we don't know how to do things apart. But here recently, even in business, for the first time, I've been comfortable to say, I am the CEO of Heart Enterprise.
Yeah.
And you are the CEO of the Lion's Den.
Yeah.
And I think for so long, we done everything together because it worked and it was a comfort level for us. We learning now, after 26 years of marriage, I'm 46 years old. You have an imaginary age, whatever you want to be. But after all this, I think we're realizing now that it is safe for us to navigate separately, but yet still together.
And separately, this is what I love about it, Devin. We're learning how to navigate separately that would create impact, meaning that now that I'm over the Lion's Den and I go after the contracts, grants, I go after grants, those grants are still feeding Heart and Enterprise. Those grants are still feeding, SJCLC. Those grants are still feeding our nonprofit organization. And I think learning this lane, it's been exciting.
Yeah.
Because before we were bumping heads.
Yeah.
We bumped heads when it came to. I know that's not what we come to talk about, but I don't know how we ended up here.
But think about this though: if we bump heads, working together, imagine what it would have been like doing two separate things.
Yeah.
Think about that. If we bumped heads working together, maybe I'm doing something that would make you want to just don't want to do it with me, or you do something but don't want to do what you are.
I think it would have been a separation within each other.
I think it would have been easier.
Because we're both Devin, we're both go-getters. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not an alpha male. I think I'm an alpha male she.
You're alpha female.
Alpha female? Yeah, okay. Alpha female. Look at me, alpha male she. Alpha male female. And I'm like, if I was single, Devin, I think if I was single, I'd be, I don't need no man. I got this. Yeah, baby, independent.
I was going to say, what was he spelling?
He don't know the song. That's okay. That's the pastor.
Stop. What was he about to wear?
That's crazy. But I realized, though, I would be that girl. Like, I remember when you would leave out of town, and Alana said this the other day. She said, Mama, when Daddy would leave, like, you at the end of the day would be like, I'm going to get it done. Mama going to make sure it happen. But when you there, she say, like, you really digress when he's there. And I think I could have been that. But I say that to say all this. Go ahead.
I say that before you said it because I think that, a lot of things we're saying is good because I think it took us, I mean, like I say, we older in age, right? But I really think it took us the amount of time it took us to do, because it took us the amount of time it took us to do what we did together to gain comfort in our togetherness. Now we can move comfortable in our individuality.
Yeah. And we can...
I want to make sure that's settled for a second.
Wait, what do you mean?
Because even though we was married, we was married doing life normal for at least, we started pastoring in, 16 years ago?
Yeah, I think so.
No,
16 years. It's 16 years this year.
So we was married normal for the first. So we got married. We started pastoring 16 years ago. For 10 years.
Yeah.
We married normal for 10 years.
We had a normal life.
Normal life for 10 years.
Oh, wait. Let's sit in that. Then we had a normal life for 10 years. I just showed up as a wife. You showed up as a husband, and we went to church.
Yep.
That's it.
So for 10 years, and then if we really want to add to that, we had a normal life before that. So 10 years before that, so because we dated, how long we dated before we got married? It was all
our high school year.
So let's say at least 5 years. So let's say 6 years, right?
Okay.
So we had
what?
We had 16 years of a normal life that we had to get used to.
Right.
Now it took us 16 years of an abnormal life.
Shut up.
Of an abnormal life. So we got really remarried 16 years ago.
Yeah.
So it took us 16 years to find comfort in how to move like this together before we felt comfortable moving separately together.
Okay, can I Tanyanize it?
Tanyanize it.
And what I'm getting, if I'm right, is that when we started the church, it's like we renewed our marriage because now we're learning each other as pastors and pastor wife. Then we go from that, and then we grow more, and then we start a nonprofit, right? Then we go from that, grow from that, and when the growing, it was painful. It was never good.
Not even starting a profit. We started a profit, but then... Well, go ahead, finish. Never good.
But it was never good. It never felt good, Devin. I remember times being in fetal positions, crying because of growth, of mistakes as a pastor's wife, of the delays of me not moving. And I am not going to get emotional on this thing. But I remember that. And now I see that happening with elevation creates exposure.
Yeah.
And I feel like that when elevation and exposure go together, it's a moment of growth. You know what I'm saying? And I think with us, we've been exposed. Some exposures wasn't good.
Yeah.
And some were, but it was always the next level of elevation. Because guess what happened with exposure? With exposure, it caused a lot of friction.
Yeah.
And so with us, we dealt with that. And so even now, it's learning that I would never forget 3 years ago, we went through this exposure moment within family.
Yeah.
And then, Devin, when this family thing went down, it was like, what the heck? About 2-3 years ago. And so the next thing we know, God was he was elevating.
But even before he started elevating, we cannot recognize the transitions without recognizing one of the major transitions. Because even though we started a church and that was stretching us, and once we started a nonprofit that was stretching us, it wasn't until, because all those times you still follow me, whether you follow me from the military, whether you follow me to be a minister, whether you follow me to start a church, then you follow me to start a nonprofit, you was following me. It wasn't until God gave us split visions.
That part.
And when he split our visions to where you got sick, and when you got sick, you had your own identity, and God told you God told me that you'd be a minister, and now you had
and how I kicked that.
So you had your own spiritual identity. It wasn't, and this is what I'm talking. Listen to me. If we're talking, even though we got another topic that we got in hand, but what you got to realize, my wife had her own spiritual identity, and now this one tower that was built originally is becoming twin towers.
Don't make me shout up in here in this room.
And listen, Twin Towers that worked together.
Yes.
But we got to figure out how can we be twins before we be separate.
True.
And so it took us 16 years of this evolution. And truthfully, when you get down to it, 2020 is where you really, really homed in on, my own identity. So now we're looking at, 2026. So really 6 years of this 10-tower piece perspective. So we had to walk and do everything together because we had to feel us first before we felt our individuality. If not, it could have cost us our marriage.
True. Facts.
Because you would have been so busy trying to build you. I would have been so busy trying to build me. And who knows where we would have ended up at if we wouldn't have got grounded and stuck together. Did everything together,
right?
Balance each other, fought and it's almost like twin. Ooh, I felt that. It was almost like twins in the belly of their mother, learning how to be brothers and sisters or whatever it was while they was in the belly. That 9 months, they needed those 9 months to be together, to settle together before they walked separately out the womb.
Come on, husband.
Like different between who was Jacob and Esau.
Esau.
You know what I'm saying? They fought inside. They had to go through that. So that was our incubated stage.
One day I really want us to write a book because I think it's the part of us that we don't share and the part of the fighting of I feel like Devin, if
jealousy.
we write this book, it's gonna give you the inside view of two people building together.
Yeah.
And that inside view is not what you see on the outside. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because, we like to tell it all. Yeah. And that inside, because I think we done grew from that a little bit.
Yeah.
So that inside view is something that I think we should do. But one thing I never done is the thing that we are benefiting from. Can we go into this other part?
Go to that part.
So one thing I learned is the thing that I'm benefiting from, our children is benefiting from.
What the topic of discussion is
what
supposed to be about today.
really supposed to be about is... You're a veteran. My husband is now using AI. Using AI to its capacity. And we teach this man. And when I tell you, Brother Devin, this joker is the guru of AI. I know other people, they are too. But this man has allowed AI to put us in rooms that we were not invited to. And we were able to be there because he found out that the room was open for everybody through AI for major contract opportunities. And we were just testing the room to get the feel and all that. Yeah. And then AI, he used it to create his gems. And with those gems, man, he was 60% veteran.
Yeah, I was 60% disabled rated. And I want to make sure I say this here before we get going too far. Is that we are not VSO and accredited claim agents or VA lawyers. We are not veteran.
Disclaimer.
We are veteran sharing exactly what we how we worked that specific situation, and every claim is unique. And this is not legal or medical advice. So I want to make sure we put that disclaimer on there.
Please make sure that stands out.
In my AI research, they said make sure that I put that disclaimer that we are not VSO and we're not accredited. Anything that we say, you can't just. Every situation is different, but I do want to use this as encouragement. But go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So with AI, he was able to go from 60%. For those of you that are VA, this is really going to be for you, veterans. And those of you that are in small business, this is going to be for you because you're able to benefit. We met someone the other day and we're about to partner with them because they need our VA Vet Hub certification in order to do the business that they're trying to do. So I said all that to say he is now, Brother Devin, 100% veteran. And what does that mean? I didn't understand it at all.
It's not just 100% veteran. I want to make sure we say right, 100%. I'm rated 100% VA disability.
You right. I didn't know what none of it meant, Brother Devin. I ain't know none of it meant. But when he told me the benefits of this veteran this veteran, this 100% status was that we're tax-free now. We don't have to pay taxes. Brother Devin, that's the reason shout. Come on here, glory. We don't have to pay taxes on our property, on our personal property. We don't have to pay. Our children can go to school for free.com.
Benefits, man.
They're able to go to school for free. As long as they're going to school, not only do they go to school for free, but they also get a check.
Yeah.
While they're going to school. So it's like,
if you go to school in Texas, if you join in Texas.
Oh, yeah, make sure you make that clear.
All these benefits, and that's why I want to make sure that we talk about it, because all these benefits are so specific because every state is different. And you don't know what you don't know. Mm-hmm. And my wife is 100% right. You know, my kids are able to go to school for free and get a check only if they go to school in Texas. And I think other supporting states, it's not very many states that does that. But, you know, I really want to talk about this, man, because, you know, so much here. And, you know, you look at me and say, I see Bishop Harden, you know, and this is the main thing, right? It's two different things we really got to focus on when we deal with this veteran benefit piece, is that number one, there are a lot of veterans out there, and me and Devin talked about this, about a family member of his. There's a lot of veterans out there who don't know what their benefits are and what they can get and what they can obtain. And I want to let you know, VA disability is not the same as you know, disability on a regular job, you know, because regular job disability means, you know, you can't work, you laid up at home. VA disability ain't like that. It's a whole different rating. And so somebody might look at me and say, how can you be 100% disabled? We see you do this and we see you do that. It's not the same.
Right.
It's not the same. But I do want to say this, is that every veteran out there, because the next thing I want to talk about is that there's so many veterans out there who don't go after this.
Right.
Or when they start, they'll get one rating. I'll never forget when I first got out the military, you know, I went straight to the, you know, the VA center downtown Houston, had a horrible experience. Another story, a horrible experience. But when I went down there, I got my 30% rating and I stopped. And I seen some other people, man, kept fighting. And I didn't fight. Mm-hmm. And I didn't realize the benefits that I was losing. And so later on, you know, I went back and I fought. And I was able to, you know, get some victories there. And so what I want to talk about today is that, you know, you need to fight. You know, first of all, get everything that belongs to you. Now, I'm not going to tell anybody to go up there lying and doing all the extra stuff, but get everything that belongs to you, because it's worth it. My family now get a chance to get so many benefits, but my business, I want to talk about that big time, because I do want to talk about, you know, how I was able to get the status, mm-hmm. And what it means for the status. Mm-hmm. But also I want to talk about, you know, what it meant to our business. What has mm-hmm. veteran SDVOSB, SDVOSB, service disabled veteran small business. So it's SD, service disabled veteran small business. So whatever that acronym is.
Veteran-owned small
business. Mm-hmm. So yes, SDVOSB. That is a powerful rating.
Yeah, and it's certified. It is a certification that you get through the government that you're able to use. It's a huge opportunity. And now, because there's no longer HUB, and if you know what HUB is historical underused businesses. Mm-hmm. That was a certification that allowed HUB owners that had this certification to get opportunities. What does that mean? It put you ahead of the game. So if there is an opportunity to do, let's say, a contract and they need a HUB business, well, in order to do the contract, well, this HUB would allow them to do that. But now, because of our president, who took this away, mm-hmm. Lord, whatever, but I don't mean it like that, but it's no longer there. But now they turned that into the Veteran Hub. Underused businesses. And our daughter, I'm so proud of her. Shout out to Alana. She makes sure all of our certifications are up to date. Alana is the Army girl around Harden Enterprise. She really should have been a bit, baby. She on dress code. She on what we doing. Why is these certifications not together? Alana do not play. She makes sure that we stay in compliance. Yeah. And that's what I do love about her. But she makes sure she went after that Vet Hub by herself. Yeah. And she was able to, man, Brother Devin, I want to cry. My baby went after that certification by herself. So reach out to Alana and don't let us add her to our business for certifications that she could go out for you to be able to get. But she was able to get that, and that put us ahead of the game. Yes. And we started receiving text messages from other businesses, brother. This is the power in this particular certification. they started calling us, and they called the Hardin Enterprise the golden ticket now because of this veteran hub certification.
So what it does, so like my wife was saying, is that previously, so the government has to spend so much money, and the government hates nepotism. How you define nepotism? Define nepotism. Hopefully Siri can say it out loud for all of us to hear. It's the practice among those with power or influence of favoring relatives. Define nepotism. It went away too fast.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just look it up online. Nepotism. So it said nepotism. So it says the unfair practice of using power or influence to give jobs, promotion, or special advantages to family members instead of choosing people based on their actual skills. And so the government hate nepotism because they have money they got to spend, and this money they got to spend, the way they remove nepotism, like basically if everybody is still getting the same contracts all the time and is not becoming African American, if it's not becoming Asian American, if it's not becoming, women, if it's not becoming, all these things, they got to make a way to break up that nepotism. They got a way to break up, the collusion that causes things. So they did it for a long time, but then what they wound up doing, for different reasons, they thought it wasn't fair. So they figured out the best way we can do this and not create a offset to where we got too much. So if we go from the majority getting the contracts to now the minority becoming the majority, how can we get the majority out of the equation and make it to where it's more of an equal playing field, right? So how do you, and listen, somebody gonna get mad because I say, well, I do understand why they done it, took away the vet hub, and I do understand
took away the
hub.
Yeah,
I do understand why they took away the hub, because hub was, hey, hub. What they did was in those contracts is that for every contract we give, let's say we give away $1 million contract, they wanted 30% of that to be spent towards a hub business, a historically underused business. This was African American, this was a woman, this was Asian, this was homosexual, this was different different categories other than white males, because that's the majority is white males. So other than white males, how can we make sure we spread it out amongst other ethnicities and other, genders and other people who would not normally get this? So to get rid of this whole collusion thing going on, they said the hub, but then some reason they thought that this was becoming lopsided to where we had more blacks and we had, more, than what they had at first. So now the blacks in the contracts are starting to become the majority. So how do we make this an even playing field? Mm-hmm. Instead of focusing on just women, just focusing on, blacks, we're going to say veterans. Because you got veteran women's, you got veteran African Americans, you got veteran men, you got veterans. So now it's an equal playing field to where the white guy can get it just like the black guy, and the black guy can get it just like the woman. And it's not just that. They serve the country. This government is benefit. So now they come back and they now can be positioned to be benefited by this. So I didn't want to get into this whole big explanation of how this works. But here we go. And so my thing is that now what I want to know is if this is what they're going, well, the country is going to be benefiting the veterans. Number one, you got to be able to be certified that you're a veteran.
Right.
Just because you go up there and you show up at DD14, you're not going to just say, okay, you're a veteran. You need to get certified. So I want to digress for a second and talk about the importance of this whole, getting the status, getting to 100% disability, going and getting the status going on. First of all, I want to get people to realize, well, let's stay. I believe laugh at me when I say this, I believe every male needs to go to the military.
Really?
I believe every male needs to go to the military. I know.
I don't think the military for everybody.
Every mama would say that.
No, but then Mama Care, I don't want you to go to no military, do she? Nope. Oh, Mama Care wouldn't want that. Because I don't think I would want that. I don't want my children.
And it's just me. I'm not saying that this is what the Lord says. No, this is what I just thought. I always think, man, because it definitely gives discipline, but not just give opportunity.
Yeah.
So I went and I started my journey, and I got the military, and I was 30%, and then I had to start fighting, had to start pushing. And I gave up at first. I want to talk to every veteran out there. if you are a veteran, and there's so many different directions this conversation can go, but I'm going to try to make sure I keep it in one linear perspective. I'm looking at those who are veterans, and especially those who are veterans who are entrepreneurs. If you're not an entrepreneur, if you're a veteran, it's a good point to become an entrepreneur. But I want to tell you, number one, as a veteran on business, I've received so many different benefits. But the main thing is it helped me get the advantages that I have. So I went and I pushed, and let's talk about this whole journey to 100%. I was embarrassed to try to get 100%, number one.
Really? Why?
Because I felt like me getting 100% was me saying that I am literally 100% disabled.
Okay.
And so I want to explain this, number one, to anybody who out there going, that's not the case. You're not, in matter of fact, man, so much I want to say. Matter of fact, I'm not even 100%. Through AI, I was educated on some game-breaking rules.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the main rules I broke two main rules.
Mm-hmm.
And it's rules in our mind, not rules in the reality. If it was rules in reality, I wouldn't be sharing it right now because I'd be, up under scrutiny. But most veterans think that, number one, that for you to be 100%, that you can't work, that you can't make any money. Or you have to make a marginal, I think it's like maybe, $20,000, $30,000 a year. Mm-hmm. Well, that's not the case. And another rule is that if Devin, you shut the door. Another rule is that not only if you are 100% you can't work, also if you're 100%, that the only way you can get 100%, you had to be 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Well, through my research, I found out I was able, because I'm an entrepreneur, I have what you call a safe work environment. Listen to me, veterans.
Come on here, veterans. Pay attention. Look, come here.
Safe work environment. Yeah. What does that mean? If you work on a company, if you're going for veteran and if you're going for veteran 100% disability, and you know for a fact that you are unemployable, that's what my rating is. I'm unemployable, which I am. And I explain to you why I'm unemployable. Reason why I'm unemployable, and since I'm unemployable, the VA say, oh, well, if you go work for anybody else's job, you're going to have to make a certain amount of money before we give you this 100%, because if you get 100%, you make more money than that, we're going to take it from you. Well, I have a safe work environment. What's a safe work environment? That means that I can come to work when I want to come to work. Mm-hmm. If my anxiety starts bothering me, if my back starts bothering me, if my knees start bothering me, things that bother me, I can say, I'm going to go home. Why? Because I own my own business. Right. So number one, you break that rule. You do not have to, make low money. I set my own salary. My wife, she has a salary. I have a salary. I can maintain that salary because I have what you call a safe work environment. That is a status in that when you submit your paperwork and they say, hey, for you, because most people don't do it because they think I got to lose money. You don't. Right. And not just that, I found out that I didn't have to go and keep going trying to get my 100% status. I'm actually status not 90%. And since I'm 90%, I can get to 90% because, number one, I am unemployable. That's my status. Since I'm permanent and unemployable, that means I don't have to go no further. I get the 100% benefit. Now, what are those benefits? Let's talk about those benefits. Mm-hmm. Number one, we don't have to pay property taxes ever again on our homestead. Not only that, my daughters now, since we pushed this on the way, what's the benefit? My daughters now, college in Texas, is paid for 100% upon the Hazlewood Act, up to 300 and some credit hours. Not just that, they do get a check. These are things that most veterans don't know about. Mm-hmm. They're not trying to get it. They're not trying to push the limit. They're trying to stay discreet, trying to stay out of the way. But so look at it already. I'm able to start a business, get contract opportunities, employ my family, get them in college, and help us with our bills, all because I served my country. Yeah. And I did serve it, and I have some problems that has affected my lifestyle. People say, oh, I see you. And this is something else veterans don't do. Veterans don't go to get these exams because, they scared of the exams. Well, I don't want to go there and go through this exam and go through the scrutiny of the exams. But you got to realize, and they say, well, you look like you're great. You look like you're perfect. As veterans, you was taught to push through pain. So when you go to that exam and you stand in front of the examiner, remember, just because you're not walking around showing your pain, don't mean you're not in pain. So when I went to the exam suite, I had to go there, and that man asked me and said, hey, bend down until you hurt. I'm always in pain. I'm always hurting. I'm sitting right here. My back is hurting now. And since my back is hurting now, guess what? I'm not going to bend over. I'm not going to do this. Now, listen, there's some things I want you to, if you got some questions, inbox me the questions of the examining factors and all these things, and I can help you with those. I won't go through all this online, but I want to tell you, man, it was so worth it for my business. It was so worth it for my family to push through. I mean, I feel like that it was probably one of the most one of the top 3 exciting moments in my advancements. In close to graduating college to, starting a business and now getting my 100% status. It was one of my top 3 moments because it redirected our life so much. So I feel like I've been talking so much. Anything you want to add?
No, I would say the other benefactor is you also get paid.
Yeah.
Yeah. And our medical. We can now, Brother Devin, we've been spending out of pocket for medical. And it's like, I just took Matter to the dentist yesterday, and I know I dropped at least 3. I was like, this too much money, because we don't have insurance which we could have, but we forgot to do it for the insurance. And so we do have insurance, but now we can use our insurance as well as the veteran as our secondary insurance. So now we're getting double insurance for what we do. And we also, like I said, you get what you get that allowed us to start the process of becoming debt free.
Yeah.
That's one of the major opportunities with this opportunity.
Yeah, because as a veteran, you do get paid. Check. I won't get into details on how much you get paid. Yeah. But you get to every status, you get paid a check, and that does help us leverage our income. Mm-hmm. So watch this here. And I guess I'm nervous to talk about this because something people really talk about a lot of times. And it's almost like you don't want to say, because you don't want nobody to scrutinize what you're saying. Mm-hmm. And I want you to be careful, because I don't need nobody to come. Look, we got a lawyer. Let that be known. Maybe we'll go talk to our lawyer. But I will say, I get what you're saying, but this is the power of what I know that you can do now that you have this. Guess what this gives you as a business owner? An opportunity to teach other veterans how to go after those opportunities. And I'm writing an ebook right now.
And Devin, I'm so proud. I didn't know if you was going to share that. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm writing.
He is writing a book right now for veterans to literally show you how to go about getting this. It's going to be an ebook. And so I've been waiting for him. He got 2 books in him. I need him to go on and write the other one. But this one is going to come out sooner than later. But I'm so excited about this because he went through the process and he want to show you how. But not just through a book, we're also preparing what you call a beta program where we're going to be able to do for veterans to be able to share in different veteran areas that is also added to our portfolio now because of it makes you powerful as a business owner. Now you just added more revenue to our business and what we're doing, and that there are veteran opportunities. We just went after a grant that has opportunities. Guess what, Brother Devin? To go and teach veterans how to go and get. Now we're adding that to the portfolio because you've done it. It's your experience. It's what you're able to do. Now you're going to make money from what you've learned through that. That's what makes it powerful. And why I feel like a reporter. That's what makes it powerful, though. Now we can do that. We can create workshops. We can create seminars that are just for veterans. Bishop, I'm about to look. I'm the one. I'm Mary. He Jesus. Yep. When Mary said, "Turn that water into wine,"
Jesus like, "It ain't my time."
And look, Brethren, I'm over here. Look, in November, I need you to do a class.
And I've been wanting to help
for veteran owners. I think about it. If you come out with it, this is a day. Put the information out there. I believe, and make it free for them to come out. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't serve our country. We don't want y'all to pay yet.
Yeah.
We're going to get grants so you won't have to pay.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. And there are grants out there that help people train veterans and get them over there. Because what happened, the problem, most veterans are pride. They're prideful. I'm good. But yet, like I say, we have so much pain. And so, listen, and I'm thinking about this as I'm thinking, shoots, it is the perfect world to really, if you're a veteran, entrepreneurship is your calling almost.
Yeah, buddy.
Because number one, let's look at the number one benefit. The hardest part of being an entrepreneur is having income. Whereas a veteran, if you got a rating, you got income. And then number 2, getting a trade. If you're a veteran, if you got a rating, you get trades for free. You going to school, you go to school for free. Mm-hmm. So you can literally, as a veteran, if you got a rating, if you say, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to get my 30% rating, I'm going to get my 50% rating, hopefully if you get to 100% rating, you now can go to school and get paid while you're going to school. So you can pay your bills and go to school. You can get a trade, so you can get trade while you're going to school. And now, one thing about it, one of the biggest fears of entrepreneurs is that, man, I don't have medical, I don't have vision, I don't have dental. How can I get medical? How can I get vision? How can I get dental for my children? So now I'm stuck in the workplace trying to work when I know I'm called to be an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. Well, now my family get CHAMVA. CHAMVA is something that no one ever talked to me about. And CHAMVA,
that's what it was called.
That's what's called CHAMVA. So what happens as a veteran, I get 100% medical, I get 100% dental, I get 100% vision. My family gets 75% medicals. I think it's 75% vision and dental.
Ooh, and how about our daughter was in the hospital?
Yeah, that was a blessing.
Man, Brother Devin, this is crazy. Why I just keep calling on. Don't pay no attention to me. But I feel like this is what we found out was that our daughter was in the hospital. Baby, they sent us she was in there because she was in ICU. Didn't ever realize that it was going to cost that much. And so I think
$50,000.
Yes, that amount right there.
$50,000.
And with our insurance that we have, so it leaves like $9,000. And so Madison coming in the house giving us this, hey, we got to pay this bill, girl.
Holding us accountable. Why y'all ain't paid this bill yet?
Why y'all ain't paid this bill yet? But it back pays. And the back pay was 2 days.
1 day.
1 day of both.
So they backdated me to the 25th of the month. They backdated me to, and she went in the hospital on the 26th.
Tell me that. Look at what the Lord has done. I'm never going. Baby, with me and Alana both started singing that song. Like, God, look what you've done. And so now, guess what? They're gonna pay that we don't have that debt on us because of this opportunity. So you, as a veteran, you get major opportunities and back pay, and now you leverage and you use that wisely and be a good steward of what you're doing. You could build a legacy for your entire family.
Literally, man. You it's like it's almost a no-brainer. Mm-hmm. If you're a veteran, like I say, you go and you get the medical for your family. Excuse me, man. You get the medical for your family. You get the medical for yourself. You get all these benefits for yourself, and now you've literally you got the income, you got the medical, you got the vision, and you can get the training, and on top of that, now you get first opportunities on these contracts. It's like it's paving the way for us.
Yes.
So what I'm trying to tell you, if you're out there and if you're a veteran and you've been sent back, or if you know a veteran, maybe you're married to a veteran, and you know for a fact he need to go, you know for a fact she need to go. And number one, most of us are dealing with issues. Now we can get the medical help that we're dealing with. If it's psychological assistance you need, you get the help you need now. You don't have to worry about how I'm gonna pay for this stuff. So if you think about this and you know he or she wants to start an entrepreneur business, or maybe it's your father, maybe it's your mother, and they don't know this. And I promise you, drop the income, all the comments you drop in, I'm gonna answer them. Every question you got, I promise you got 1,000 answers. And hopefully by the time, all this is over with, I can have my ebook and I can see my ebook. Mm-hmm. But we said last week, every entrepreneur should have a nonprofit. Now I'm going to say every veteran should be an entrepreneur. Mm. It's just a no-brainer. Yeah. Even if you say, well, you know what, Dad, I want you to go start your business.
Or, I'm sorry, go ahead. I cut you off. Yeah. Or every veteran should partner with another entrepreneur.
That's what I'm going to say. Yeah. Even if you say, Dad, you know what, just let me start a business in your name, mm-hmm. up under your veteran status.
Right.
And now we can go out to contracts. I mean, a lot of people have done this before. Hey, if they're giving the contracts to minorities, mm-hmm. well, and women as a minority, well, I'm going to go get my wife to start a business so we can get the contract in her name. Well, you know what? If they're giving it to veterans, hey, Dad, we need you to go get your business. We're going to start a business in your name. Dad, you ain't got to do nothing. You already got the status. We're going to go start a business in your name, and we're going to still go out the contracts in your name because you're the owner of the business, and we're going to get benefit from it. It's there.
It's there. It's available.
It's there. I know a young lady told me today, she said, man, I need to talk to my dad. Yes, you need to talk to your dad because we get phone calls literally from different states. Because just because we say Vet Hub, that's not a national status. Mm-mm. That is a Texas status. I don't know if they have Vet Hub anywhere else. That's a Texas status. Mm-hmm. So other people in other states who want to bid in contracts in Texas will call us and say, hey, can we put you on our contract? We'll pay you just for being on our contract. And now we got to look over the paperwork because we don't give you our information because now you can use our information later. And we're going to make sure that if you do use us, that we got first right to whatever you got because we have a status like that and it's so powerful. So, I really want to just really, I didn't know which direction I thought this podcast was going in, but I really wanted, my goal from this podcast, I really want to encourage every veteran out there who have stopped and who have not pushed, who given up on the journey and realize, number one, go finish your status. I'm excited. It's something I guess I should. Some people want me to be, quiet about. But me, I don't know. I'd be quiet about it.
Especially if it's going to help somebody else, because we know other veterans, and one person, we've been pushing her, Kim.
Oh man,
we've been pushing Kim. You got your vet. You got your vet. You got your vet. So it's one of those, you want to see other veterans be able to do it. I told him he needs to go to the community here in our community, have a vet place for veterans, just to go and share or see what they have to be able to, you learn and you grow.
I say, the reason why I say no, because I see why you say I need to go to the vet place. The reason why I say no that because usually if you go into the vet building in town,
you already got
it. Got it. People helping you out and everything.
Yeah.
It's the places where the veterans hide.
Got you.
They hide, man. And especially ones who need the help, they don't tell nobody. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of them are dealing with psychological problems and they don't really want to talk about the psychological problems. I dealt with psychological problems. I deal with psychological problems. I deal with back pains. I deal with sleep apnea. There's a ringing in my ear all the time. That ringing is called tinnitus. I think it's called tinnitus. If I said it wrong, just correct it in the comments. But I never forget, I went on that exam and that man said, I'm going to put this in your ear. I'm going to put a pitch there, let me know when you hear it. I never heard it. Really wouldn't have heard it because the pitch I already have is higher than the pitch they had.
Wow.
And so that's a rating. Your knee. I got my knees. I get down, try to stand straight up. That's a rating. So there's a lot of ratings out there people don't like to talk about because that means that you're hurting. And especially black men, we don't like to admit that we in pain.
Yeah.
That's weakness. For me to go to an exam, a medical exam, I literally have to convert my mind to acknowledge I am not good when I walk around every day as if I'm good. And I got to go there in a different mindset, and I got to allow myself to feel this pain. I got to allow myself to talk about this pain.
Now I wish I was a veteran because I got knee pain. No, I'm just playing. I got knee pains.
Yeah. So,
but yeah. I hope this helped. I hope this helped that other veteran. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I hope this helped that other veteran. He definitely wanted to share this because it is a milestone within our family. And of course, we want this to be a milestone within someone else's family that is, that is a veteran, and for you to be able to gain the opportunities that are out here. That's our whole key, our whole reason for the Unscripted is to share our experience, but also to share, resources and opportunities and things that are available to you that you may not have known about, and that's what we like to do. So
that's what we want to do. Like I say, and I hope that it was accomplished today. Wish that every podcast we did could hit everybody. But this one here was for the veterans. And I think it could hit everybody. I think everybody know a veteran.
Yeah.
And if you know a veteran, I want you to tell them, say, hey, man, reach out, go inbox, the Unscripted with Clyde and Tanya. They'll give you information. Like I said, hopefully I have this ebook coming pretty soon to share it. But listen, if the veteran hubs and if the SDVOSB is where they're giving the contracts, where they're giving opportunities to, we need to get in line and get what God has for us. And I believe God has for us because you went and you served, you served your country. First of all, I want to tell every veteran, thank you for your service. Believe me, we got Veteran Day coming up. Don't forget Veteran Day. It's going to be in November the 11th, every November 11th. Honor the veterans and don't get it twisted. Don't get Memorial Day and Veterans Day twisted. That's not the same day. Memorial Day is where we honor the fallen. Veteran Day is when we honor the living. Yeah. We want to honor every veteran that's still living, and we honor on Veteran Day the ones that fell because they're still veterans. But especially on Memorial Day, don't walk up to a veteran on Memorial Day and say, Happy Veterans Day. No, we haven't died. We didn't die for our country. We lived for our country, fought for our country. Now we're serving our country in a different way. Memorial Day is a day that we honor those who fell, POWs, prisoners of war, and also the fallen soldiers. So let's shout this one out to all the veterans out there.
Shout out veterans. Thank you for your service.
Country still right now. So.
Yes, and thank you for those that are fighting for our country right now and protecting us. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Go open a business. Get part of this opportunity. So God bless you right now. I pray you go out and you just start responding or encouraging someone to do something different. All right. All right, that's it, babe.
Happy hunting.
Let's eat.